I hated myself. I wanted rid of this gay demon. I didn't want to be gay. This is something that's very emotionally traumatizing to go through. Conversion therapy is enforced repression on people. For me, that took the form of things like people praying in tongues, having exorcisms, having demons cast out me, being anointed with holy oil in an attempt to rid the gay demon that's inside you. Your right to religion is not a license to discriminate. Your right to religion is a belief. My existence is a reality. Hi, my name's Justin Beck. I am a primary school teacher from Glasgow and I'm a survivor of conversion therapy. I was born and raised in a Christian family in a town outside of Glasgow. Christianity, having a faith, was a massive part of my upbringing. Growing up in a Christian faith, you're very much in a bubble. You don't know what you don't know. So at 13, then realising that I was attracted to other boys, it made sense for me to go to the Bible to see what God made of these feelings that I was having. One of the most famous verses in the Bible is in Leviticus, where it says that a man shall not lie with another man the way that he lies with a woman. So at 13, that sent a very clear signal to me that same-sex attraction wasn't accepted, it was a sin and it was a big one. So then it became very confusing, very anxiety-driven. It was that vicious cycle of knowing what you naturally wanted to do, but then having that lens over it of its temptation, its sin, that you ultimately have to do something about it. You have to ask forgiveness. You had to go to church every Sunday and pray for forgiveness for something that comes naturally to you. I think it is important to say that not all Christians are homophobic. There are many LGBT-affirming churches. There are many LGBT Christians. If you still want to develop your faith and your personal relationship with God, you can, and you can have both. At 15, I put myself through full immersion baptism, so that's the way that John the Baptist baptizes Jesus, so you're dipped under the water and brought back up again. Personally, it was me thinking that I was going to wash the gay away and would then be able to live a normal, functioning, heterosexual lifestyle. Obviously that didn't work, so then I left my family church that I'd been born and raised in, then had 6 years of conversion therapy. At that point, I hated myself. I wanted rid of this gay demon. I didn't want to be gay. This is something that's very emotionally traumatizing to go through. There was nobody that I could turn to. Nobody in that church ever said to me, Justin, you're just gay and that's okay. So it's a very lonely place. Looking back, I was very emotionally vulnerable and very open to being manipulated and swayed. All conversion therapy is coercive. You can't give consent to that. LGBT storylines are absolutely vital because representation matters.
You know what the Bible says. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. You shall not lie with a man as with a woman.
It is an abomination.
Yes, yes. What you have done is an abomination.
That is enough. I will not stand here and allow you to call my son an abomination because of who he is.
That's not who I am, Mom.
Your faith does not give you the right to be homophobic.
It is in the Bible.
Mom, you're not helping.
Son.
You're not helping.
I'm not saying that the Bible is wrong. But at every service that I have been to, I have been taught that the most important thing is to love one another unconditionally.
So the Scott and Mitchell story for me was incredibly important. Scott was there throughout to kind of help Mitchell because Mitchell really struggled to come out to his family. Obviously, lots of people who are coming out find that process difficult, and you need to have good support around you.
It's okay. It's okay, I got you. I came back to my granddad. I just wanted him to still love me.
I'm really excited to meet Justin because, first and foremost, I just think what a brave guy, you know, to have gone through what he's gone through. I'm really interested to hear his story, so yeah, I can't wait to meet him. Justin, first of all, thank you so much for speaking to me today. I think your story is genuinely incredible. So the actual kind of conversion therapy that you went through then, what was that like, and how upsetting was that for you at the time?
An exorcism is a really horrific, emotionally traumatizing experience. So lots of people are pushing down onto your belly and pushing down onto you. Ultimately, they're looking for a reaction from you. Coming towards the end of it, I was used to the pattern of it, so I would eventually just sit up, look over at the boy that I fancied in the church and go in, still fancy him. and then ultimately, at 23, I was completely suicidal and had to remove myself for it in order to still be here.
So how did you know where to turn to or where to go next?
Luck. Luck, absolutely, is the answer to that. 23, completely suicidal. I had planned my suicide. To this day, I don't know what it was, but something made me just Google, and I just Googled spirituality, sexuality, counselling Glasgow, and I found a real licensed therapist. Having him, he is still to this day my safety net. I know I can go to him for anything. He's marrying me and my fiancée. It's a very happy ending, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work at 23 and not having any LGBT awareness at all, and then entering the LGBT community in all its glory and colour and fabulousness. But at 23, that's very intimidating when you don't know anything.
And what was that like? Was it kind of, because I bet it was like a whole new world.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah.
It was scary at the start. My first date with a boy, and we went to a gay club in Glasgow, and a random guy just grabbed my arse, and I was just like, what are you doing?
That's never happened in church.
No. It was scary, but then obviously ultimately lovely. At its root, conversion therapy is enforced repression, and for me, I was repressing a large part of myself for a really, really long time. So then to be able to be free and be expressive and go and dance and have an absolute gay time, amazing, really.
When you look back at that time in your life, or you think about people who might be going through that now, what advice would you give to them?
You're not broken, you're not sinful, there is no demon writhing in your belly. Ultimately, don't be alone. For me, the loneliness was the worst part. So finding someone, I found a therapist, a licensed one that has no church connections. Find someone that you can open up to, because even just knowing that there's someone out there that knows who the real you is could be a real source of solace.
Thanks so much for sharing your story with us, Justin. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I can't believe what he's been through. I think he's an incredible person. I'm just so proud of him for sharing his story with us.
I'm proud of the fact that I'm gay, and I love the fact that I'm gay. And these are things that 19-year-old Justin would never have been able to say. Being able to genuinely do it and genuinely celebrate that fact, that took a decade. This is my fiancé, Paul.
Every time Justin speaks, I find myself getting upset, but in a really powerful way. So proud. Get upset?
No. I'm not perfect, but having someone that accepts me and all my foibles is new, and it's been a journey, and being in a long-term relationship is phenomenal and a great source of comfort.
Love always wins.
It always wins.
If you've been affected by or would like any further information surrounding the issues raised in today's programme, please visit channel4.com/support.